we can get it with Russia, and it's
Ukraine?
not easy. It's a tough one. But I think we're doing it, and as the Secretary General said yesterday of NATO, a terrific guy, he said without Trump we wouldn't be talking about it. It would just go on for years, and millions of people have been killed, but millions more people would be killed.
Good job.
And he said it was a great honor. Without me, it would just keep going on. We're looking for would never have happened. I used to speak to President Putin a lot about it. I said, don't do it. Don't do it. I won't tell you what the consequence was. I won't tell you what he spent. If he believed even 5% of what I said, then he would say, I'm not going to do it. And I think he did. But we had a good relationship, and we had a professional relationship. And, a long way to go. The fighting is unbelievable. Russia has a large group of Ukrainian soldiers, as we speak, surrounded and in grave danger. They've been able to surround them.
Because of Joe Biden.
Biden should have never let this war happen. First of all, you don't want to pick on somebody that's a lot larger than you.
Hellcat.
There's a lot of money that we gave them, and a lot of unbelievable, a lot of Ukrainian soldiers that are encircled and in grave danger. And I've asked them not to kill
were abducted
soldiers, please,
by the Ukrainian army.
Soldiers. We don't want them killed.
Nobody wants to join.
It's such a shame to see what's happened.
Yes, it is,
Thing
President
like
Trump.
that would have never happened. Never happened. October 7th would have never happened. Iran had no money. They were totally broke. To anybody, they were totally broke. A short period of time, as soon as Biden came in, he took out all the sanctions. In China and everybody else that wasn't buying oil from Iran was buying it at levels that they never spent before.
Stupid.
And it was a sad thing, and that was probably what got Putin started.
Afghanistan. That's why we need to go back. Listen to this.
I think the most embarrassing day, not that we got out because we were getting out. I would have been out faster than them. I was the one that got it down to the right level. But we would have kept Bagram, the big Air Force base. We would have kept it right there.
We should have. That's why we need to go back.
The reason we would have kept it is because we're 1 hour away from where China has and builds its nuclear missiles and weapons.
Stupid. Why would we let China take power of that?
The dark of night, they left the lights on, and they left the dogs behind, by the way. A lot of people say, what about all the dogs? There are a lot of dogs, and they left the dogs behind.
Poor doggies.
And, what a shame. What a shame.
That is a shame.
The way we got out, I think it was the most humiliating time in the history of our country.
I agree, President Trump.
Not that we were getting out, because we wanted to get out, but we would have gotten out with dignity and strength. And what a difference a rigged and crooked election had on our country when you think about it, and the people.
But the good thing is, it made everyone see why we need Trump.
So I just want to say God bless America, because we have to say God bless. We're lucky we're still here, frankly.
Good job.
And this whole thing could lead, I think we have it, but this could lead to World War III very easily.
Yes, it can, President Trump.
To World War III,
Please,
but I think we're in pretty good shape. A lot better than we were before we got involved. That I can tell you. It was going.
Sure that.
It was heading into World War III territory.
Correct.
And that would have been a war like no other because of nuclear weapons and other types of weapons that people you don't even want to know about. But as many of you do know, well, we're focused on persecuting. These people were really focused on persecuting Republicans. The last administration presided over the worst increase in violent crime in our country in many, many decades. We had levels of violence and crime, and a lot of it had to do with the illegal immigrants that came in. You remember I used to complain about it? Because I knew how tough they were.
I saw it from my own eyes. And the workers.
Said, no, people that come
really
into
had
our
a
country
night and day
are all
flip.
wonderful people. No, they're not wonderful. These are stone cold
I agree.
killers. These are
Shaking your head, yes.
They make our killers look nice by comparison.
Seriously, though.
Nice. These are rough, tough people with the tattoos all over their face. Historically speaking, I don't want to discriminate against anybody, but historically speaking, they're not going to be the head of any major bank that we know of.
Sure that.
These are rough people. These are rough killer people, and they allow them in by the millions. In major cities like New York, Chicago, and Washington, mothers can't walk their children to the park without fear of being shot or killed or raped or anything.
This was 7 hours ago.
The subway without worrying that a hoodlum will shove them onto the train tracks. in New York. It's happened twice in the last couple of weeks. They're standing there, perfect Wall Street gentleman in one case, and another person who was a worker, good worker, an electrician, gets pushed into a train going 45 miles an hour just prior to the train, not stopping, going to go through.
That's crazy. That's shaking the head no.
The subway. I used to feel safe when I was young. I'd go to, my parents would drop me off at the subway. I'd take the subway to my school. Can you believe it? Today, they wouldn't be doing that. And we want to back. If we want to get a country
if
back,
they did, the kids might get abducted.
But it's so sad to see what's taking place under the Biden regime. Average monthly homicides increased by 14%. Property crime rose tremendously. Violent crime went up at least 37% that they know of. Rape soared by 42%. Car theft rose by 48%. And robbery surged to 63 to 100%. They don't even know what the number is.
Wow.
And I have no higher mission as President of the United States than to end this killing.
That's my president.
And to making America safe again. And that's what
Thank you, President.
In this room, we want to protect Americans, and we protect everybody that's in our country, American or not American. We want to have a safe and proud country. We're joined today by dozens of police officers, sheriffs and sheriffs, deputies from all across the country. My message to these law enforcement heroes is simple. With me in the White House, you once again have a president who will always have your back. Will always have your back.
But you can't have the bad cops back. There are some bad cops out there. Like the ones that plant evidence on people just to get the guilty plea. Those ones, you can't have their back, President Trump. You should clarify that.
Good-looking people, I will tell you, I feel safe. I'm glad you're in the room. I feel even safer.
I wish I was in the room.
A lot of great people.
I feel safe with me there.
I signed an executive order directing Attorney General to ensure that anyone who murders a police officer immediately, with as fast a trial as we can have, gets the death penalty.
Oh, well. That's probably good. Provided they're not murdering the police officer in self-defense. And it's not one of them crazy rope cops.
I fired all the radical left pro-crime U.S. attorneys appointed by Joe Biden. There were so many that were bad. And I know there were some that were probably very good. But there were so many that were so bad and so evil.
True that.
So corrupt. Instead of having Marxist prosecutors who want to put police officers in handcuffs and go after a police officer rather than a criminal, I appointed patriotic, tough-on-crime warriors who will partner with police to put dangerous offenders behind bars, put them in jail. We're fully reviving 1033 program to provide state and local law enforcement with surplus military equipment that we have so much of it. I did it in my last administration.
Yes, you did.
And I remember Obama.
And Biden gave it all away.
Do it. Before me, would not do it because he thought it made them look too strong, too military. I said, no, that's what I want them to look like. I want them to look strong. And it was protective, defensive equipment. We had billions of dollars. I gave it out, and now I'm going to have a chance to give it out again. They didn't want to do it with Biden.
You gave it away to Biden. Gave it away to Afghanistan.
They would have asked him. He wouldn't have been able to answer the question. He could never answer a question. They said my press conference yesterday was longer than all of Biden's press conferences put together for the last 4 years.
True that.
And I don't know if that's true, but it was close.
I'm sure it is. I didn't talk to nobody.
Most importantly, we're securing our border and repelling the invasion of America. We have
except China and Ukraine
have come down. So, and Tom Holman and Christy have been incredible. Christy Noem.
Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up if you enjoy.
I don't know if Tom Holman's here, but wherever he may be, I think he's chasing people out of our country. If he was here, I'd almost be disappointed. What are you doing, Tom? But he's a fantastic guy, and he's a brave guy. Over the past 4 years, other countries emptied out their prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums, and sent the killers, drug smugglers, and bloodthirsty inmates from the filthiest dungeons of the world straight into the USA. And open border. We had an open border policy. Anybody could come in, no matter what you were, no matter where you came from, no matter what you looked like. No matter what you were doing, no matter what you did, no matter how many people you murdered, you could come right into our country. We have murderers right now walking the streets.
That's called the Trump effect.
We're joined today by Tammy Nobles, whose 20-year-old daughter, Kayla, was attacked in her home 3 years ago, horrifically assaulted and strangled to death by an illegal alien MS-13 monster set loose into our country under the open
Bad.
border Biden regime. Kayla was one of countless American victims ripped away from their families by the open border policies of that administration. And we're also joined by Kayla's stepfather here today. And I'd love you to all just stand up and take a bow because you are incredible people. Please. Thank you.
Like, subscribe, share, thumbs up. Trump speaks. 7 hours ago. 3/15/2025 is the date. So this was filmed like around 5 p.m.
Thank you very much.
today. Well, actually,
Thank you.
on 3/14 this was filmed.
But I want you to know that we are
It's
working
after
every day
midnight. It's
to expel these
12:29
savages
a.m.
from our country and ensure that what happened to your loved ones will never happen again. So their legacy is going to be a great one.
Reagan,
Thank you all very
Lakin,
much.
Riley.
Appreciate it. On day one of my administration, I declared a national emergency on our southern border. Our first full month in office, we achieved the lowest level of illegal border crossings ever recorded. Okay? Even lower than 4 years ago. For years, Democrats and the media kept saying that we needed new legislation. We had to have new legislation. We needed it immediately. And I never had legislation. And we had the best border in the history of our country for almost 4 years.
So
And by the
Biden
time I
ruined
got
it.
out, we had the lowest numbers ever. My favorite chart of all time was brought down that day. And on that chart said we had the lowest numbers ever. But it turned out that we really didn't need new legislation. All you needed was a new president.
Yep. And this guy in particular, he should run for vice president since you can only be president
And
for
I
2
said that.
years.
I said that. the
Trump
other
should run
night.
as vice president.
That's all
Comment if
needed
you
was a new
agree.
president saying, close the borders because the border
He needs to be
patrol
our
is
vice president
unbelievable.
then.
ICE is unbelievable, and all of our law enforcement is just incredible. All of you guys are amazing.
I met good, nice
the
ones.
people of our
There are
country
good ones out
respect you
there.
and they love you. And a lot of times you don't hear that because you have to listen to the fake news back there. But
Yeah.
they have great respect for you. So I just want you to know that. And you know that includes our fire departments too.
And
They don't
ambulance
get
workers.
spoken about enough. You know, they go into some of the areas I read where they're shooting them off ladders. Can you believe it? They go up to put out a fire, Leo, and they go and they shoot them off a ladder.
It's effed up.
It's just unbelievable. These firemen and women are incredible. So I want to put them in the same category because they're just incredible. I also like that the fact they voted for me like at 94%. So I have to
And don't
mention
forget
them. I
about the
have no
ambulance
choice, right?
workers, Trump.
But the truth is they're phenomenal people. The law enforcement, fire, everybody, they're phenomenal. Basically first responders, because that's what they are. They're first responders. And we're ending the migrant occupation of America. And what we're doing now is
That's
we're
good.
liberating our cities and our suburbs and our towns. And you see a big difference. I'm getting calls all the time from even leaders
Yeah,
of other
I see it even in
countries saying,
Chicago.
Sir, the whole world feels liberated now. It feels like there's a light over America, but there's a light over the whole world. I hear that so much. It's so nice to hear it too. And I feel it. I mean, I feel it. I look at it. I see the polls. I don't know if the polls are right, but they're certainly very good. I'll take them right now. It's amazing what's taken place in such a short period of time, really 6 weeks, but it's longer than that. It's really November 5th. I think that hopefully will go down, if you do your job great, it'll go down as the most important day, one of them at least in the history of our country. You know, July 4th was pretty, 1776, it was pretty important too. But let's see if we can top it. Can we top it? I don't know. That's a tough one, but we're going to
It's
try.
gonna be
But
tough.
it will be one of the most important days in the history of our country. So I think
And Elon Musk is
and I
doing
think
great
everybody
things
in this
too.